Hi everyone, I'm going to react to My Hero Academia Season 6, Episode 22. Friend. Last episode was Deku versus Lady Nagon, and then we learned about her backstory and what made her leave becoming what made her turn into a villain, basically in the eyes of society, and all of that. And Deku was able to basically revive that hero in her, but then the quirk that All for One gave her had a trap in it. She exploded and all kinds of stuff. Okay, last episode was just emotional. And before we get into this one, if you guys have a reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and please consider supporting my Patreon at patreon.com/feelingmini. And now let's start this episode. And here we go. I'm looking at the next episode, and the title is like Deku versus Class A, and I'm like, what the frickety frack is that? Okay, let's start this episode, and here we go. I'm recording these last few episodes in the same day. After I finished the last episode with Lady Nagon, I was crying my eyes out. So I stepped away for at least an hour and a half, and then I came back to react to the next episode. And the way things are going, I feel like next episode I'm gonna be emotional about that as well. Because after what happened with Nagon, she gave them the information about this mission where they were supposed to bring the person that they where they were supposed to bring Deku. So they went there with other heroes. And All for One was waiting for them. Well, a recording, either way, of All for One. And he basically taunted Deku, and then he blew the place up. No one died, thankfully, but that pushed Deku even further into the darkness of him wanting to pull away from everybody, wanting to do everything by himself, wanting to catch All for One in Shigaraki. He felt like because All for One was after him, that his friends would be in danger, so he left the school and he was going around with those few heroes. But then they also were in danger, so it's not okay. You know what? Now I'm doing this by myself. And that scene where he left All Might behind, that broke my heart, especially with All Might trying to reach out to him and knowing that he can't reach him, and him feeling guilty because he is the one that passed on the power to him, and he told him to be the next All Might. And so everything that Deku is doing right now is weighing on All Might as well. And even the previous holders were trying to tell him he was doing too much. He was just all over the place, saving people, and they were trying to tell him to slow down and stop. He wasn't listening to anyone. And when the holders were like, there's only one thing that he needs right now, and I'm like, his friends. And then he shows up with that villain, another hired gun, and All for One predicted what Deku was gonna do, push away everybody and keep trying to stop villains and exhausting himself and all of that. So the dude was waiting there for him, and Deku was there. He knew what this villain was. He knew what his quirk was. And he knew that this person was using these people as human shields. And he was there on the ground just trying to think about how to go about defeating this villain and not really coming up with anything. And then that's when Bakugo showed up. And he told the others that he found him. And then they went through this flashback about after Deku left him the mail, the letters. And they figured that it was All Might that probably gave them the letters because Deku didn't want to approach the school or anything and put them in danger. And they figured that Hawks and Denim Head, they were all with Deku, because they couldn't reach them. So they figured they were with them, and I knew they were not gonna accept Deku just leaving the school like that. I knew that, and the fact that they were the fact that they wanted to find him and bring him back, and the principal arranging this meeting between the kids and Endeavor, and the principal basically telling the kids that he wasn't gonna let Deku go. Like, the academia was their home. Okay, so the fact that the kids wanted to go with them, he go after him, he was okay with that. When he said that All Might and Endeavor, both of them grew up at the school. I don't know. So they all showed up where Deku was, and he's like, "What are you guys doing here?" And when Bakugo asked him if he was smiling now, he's not. And he's still trying to protect them, so he's like, you guys need to go, and he's about to leave. So that makes sense. The next episode, the title made sense. Deku versus Class A. They're not gonna let him go. Okay, so it's gonna be a fight between these Deku and them, basically trying to convince them that he can do this by himself. He needs them, and they need him. And I feel myself very emotional about it already. And I'm about to get into the episode right now, so it's like I'm carrying these emotions into that one, so I feel myself crying during that episode already. And I haven't even started yet. Okay, thank you guys for watching, and if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you want to see my reaction to the next episode, you can do so by checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/ifyoulamini, and you can also see the full info of this reaction there as well. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. I wanna try so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.